Last year, Thailand made some pretty big tax changes that are affecting digital nomads and expats in the country. However, a lot of expats still don't quite understand how these tax changes work. So in this video, I'm going to explain to you exactly what these changes mean for you and how you can, if you even can, pay low taxes while living in Thailand as an expat. So Thailand is one of my favorite places in the world. I've just spent a month in Bangkok. I've been coming back quite a few times and I'm gonna keep coming back to the country many times. And many expats agree with me. It's a very, very popular destination for expats, but it's the kind of destination where a lot of the time people don't really know the rules. They don't really follow the rules because they're just like, well, they're never gonna catch me, who cares? But what I always say is that when you're in these countries, they might not be enforcing all the laws now, but once they develop, and by the way, they're developing extremely quickly, at some point they're gonna start enforcing them. So it's a good idea to be aware of how things actually work. And let me tell you, 99% of expats, digital nomads who are in Thailand have no idea about how these tax rules actually work. There's so much misinformation out there. The thing about this is that it's very difficult to differentiate the good information from the bad information because the people who have no idea about how taxes and international taxation work speak just as confidently about this subject as people who actually know something. So as someone who literally does this for a living, like I explain taxes around the world to people on this channel, I help people reduce their taxes. Let me give you my take on, first of all, what the old rules were, how things used to work. And by the way, still people were doing this completely wrong even before these new changes, and what these changes actually mean and why it's not really as big of a deal as almost everyone is making out to be, and what it actually takes to pay low taxes if you want to do so while living in Thailand. But of course, I'm not a tax advisor. You should absolutely not listen to anything I say because I'm just a guy talking to the camera on the internet. So first, to talk about how taxes used to work. So Thailand essentially has this remittance-based taxation system for foreign income. Well, let's say you make money outside of Thailand. Let's say you have a rental property outside of Thailand or you have a pension outside of Thailand. Thailand only taxes money what is brought into the country. And what brought into the country means is, let's say you use money with a credit card, you're essentially spending the money locally, that you take out money in cash from a local ATM, that is bringing money into Thailand, or you send money into a Thai bank account. All of that is classed as bringing money into Thailand. This is in contrast to many other countries that tax worldwide income, that tax your income wherever it was made and whether or not it was brought into the country. So this applies to you if you are a Thai tax resident, which you become after you spend more than 180 days in the country. So it's a very simple test, unlike a lot of Western countries. So first of all, if you were never spending more than 6 months in the country, none of these changes affect you in any kind of way because this only applies to Thai tax residents. However, before these changes, there used to be a loophole in this tax law where basically if you made money in, let's say, 2023, but you kept that money outside of Thailand for 2023 and then you brought in the country only in 2024, that was classed as bringing in savings, and savings would not be taxed. So you essentially had this loophole where you could just keep money that you make outside of Thailand for the year when you make it, and then only in the following year bring it into the country, and in the meantime just live off savings, which led many people to think like, well, this is a way for you to pay zero tax, just don't bring any money into Thailand, which is exactly what a lot of people were doing. However, even this, like, there's a lot more to this that people weren't doing. In fact, a lot of these expats should have been paying tax in Thailand. They just weren't aware of it, or they were choosing to interpret the law in the kind of way that makes it seem good for them. But I'll get back to that in a second. But now, what are these new changes? So these new changes have been in place since the start of 2024. And essentially the only thing that changed is this loophole where now, instead of taxing only money that is brought into Thailand in the tax year when it's earned, they simply tax all money brought into Thailand regardless of when it was earned. But the crucial thing here to understand is that these laws and these changes only applied to foreign income. So now let's talk about what is actually taxed in Thailand and how can you actually pay low tax in Thailand, because literally almost no one understands this. Like almost everyone is either choosing to misunderstand this on purpose so they don't have to pay tax even though they would have to, or they just have no idea what is going on, which is most likely the case. So the key here is that all of these remittance rules only apply to foreign income. So what is foreign income? Many people think that foreign income means money either earned in a foreign bank account or earned from foreign clients. That is not what foreign income means. You can read about this in the Thai tax law. Foreign income means income that is sourced outside of Thailand. So what is income that is sourced inside of Thailand? Well, generally, income is sourced within the country, not if it's brought into a local bank account, not if it's from local clients, but rather if the actual work is done in that country. So for a digital nomad or an expat who runs an online business from Thailand, or who freelances from Thailand, works a remote job from Thailand, all of that income is actually Thai sourced income and it should actually be taxable. It's just that the authorities don't really have many ways to enforce this. They don't really care about it that much. So a lot of people think that they should not have been paying taxes when actually they should have been. And if they keep doing this, eventually they're going to catch up to them once they do start enforcing them at some point in the future. And the very crucial thing that almost no one knows is that this Thai sourced income is taxable in Thailand, whether or not you actually become a tax resident. But I'll tell you exactly how you can actually get around this through using double tax agreements in a second. So if you don't care about this and you just want to keep not paying taxes and hope that they don't catch you, you don't have to watch the rest of this video because none of this applies to you. But if you actually want to do things properly, here is actually what you should do if you don't want to pay taxes in Thailand. What is crucial here that you need to make sure that you essentially structure your income in such a way that this is actually foreign income. So what is actually foreign income? What is income that is not derived from work done while sitting in Thailand? So for example, if you own a property abroad, that is going to be foreign sourced income because it's not related to work or an asset within Thailand. If you have a pension from abroad, that is foreign income, and all of these remittance rules apply to you. So if you have only this type of income, then essentially you have this arbitrage opportunity. Well, let's say you make $1 million a year in genuine foreign income, but you only spend $50,000 a year or $100,000 a year. Then what you can essentially do is keep all of this income besides the income that you actually need to live in Thailand for your lifestyle outside of Thailand in non-Thai bank accounts. Don't spend it in Thailand, only spend what you need to live. And then you're only going to be taxed on that money that is brought and remitted into the country. So let's say you end up paying a total of 25% net effective rate. On a total income of $1 million, you would only be taxed on the $100,000 that you bring into Thailand, which will give you an actual net effective tax rate of only 2.5%. So that is a pretty good tax rate. It's not zero, but it is essentially like pretty close to zero. So you can live on very low taxes if you do this, if you essentially have a big gap between what you earn and what you need to spend. But again, this actually only works if your income is genuinely foreign sourced. So if all of your income is derived from you actually sitting in Thailand and doing work, that income is actually not foreign sourced. It's going to be Thai sourced income and it should actually be taxed in Thailand. So if you have a business, what can you do to actually pay low taxes legally? Well, what you would need to do is essentially structure your business in such a way that you outsource as much of the work as possible. So you essentially have almost a passive business where you as a shareholder only take out dividends. You're not getting a salary. You're not earning money based on actual work done in Thailand. You're not going to create what's called a permanent establishment in Thailand. So your business is also not going to be taxable in Thailand because most of the actual operations are going to be outside. So you're going to need to hire a manager. You're going to need to hire out pretty much everything you do. And whether you can do this is going to depend on the kind of business you have. Let's say you have a YouTube channel or something like that. This might be very difficult because most of the value of your business is going to be derived from you talking to the camera like I'm doing right here. Now, if this is all incidental, you only spend again a couple of months in Thailand maybe, then you don't really have to worry about this. It's only again if you do enough work in Thailand to create a permanent establishment. And there's situations where let's say you have a tax residence somewhere else like the UAE where I have my own tax residence, then they usually have double tax agreements. For example, the UAE has a double tax agreement with Thailand where the double tax treaty specifically states that if you're only tax resident in one of the places, so if you're only tax resident in the UAE, you will not create a permanent establishment in Thailand, and Thailand will not be able to tax even your Thai sourced income from work done in Thailand unless you do it for more than 6 months. So you can do this completely legally by having a tax resident somewhere that has a tax treaty with Thailand and then only spending less than 6 months in Thailand. Then even if you do work in Thailand, even if you run for your business from Thailand for part of the year, you're not going to create a permanent establishment and there is going to be no Thai tax liability. However, if you want to live in Thailand for the entire year, you become a tax resident, you don't have protection from double tax agreements, and the only way to do this legally is to make sure that you're not actually performing and that your business isn't being done directly from Thailand, at least for the most part. So to recap, if you want to live in Thailand as an expat and you have an active business, really the only way to legally not be taxable is to number one, have a tax residence somewhere else. I recommend the UAE. It's very easy to set up there. You can get a tax residence with as little as 3 months in the country. I have so many videos on this channel about it. And we also have a business where we can help you get this tax residence, set up your business there, essentially live there for part of the year, have that as your tax and business home, and then you don't have to spend the entire year there. You can easily then spend less than 6 months in Thailand, maybe a couple of months somewhere else, and 3 months in the UAE, and then legally only be taxable in the UAE. And when you have tax treaties between the UAE and Thailand, then you're legally protected by that. You're legally not going to be taxable as long as you don't become tax resident in Thailand, i.e. spend more than 6 months in the country. If you don't want to do that and you just want to live in Thailand, it's actually much more complicated for you to legally not be taxable on your money, because most likely any work that you perform in Thailand is going to create Thai sourced income. It's going to create a permanent establishment for your business, and you should actually be paying taxes. This is a very complicated topic that almost no one understands, but I hope that clarifies things a little bit. If you want to learn how you can relocate to Thailand, the visa options you have, how the taxes work, things like that, you can watch this video right here. So watch that video next, and I'll see you in the next one.